We do the remote start function. So first touch locks it, second time starts it up. You can hear that 5.7 liter Hemi come to life. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the 2020 Ram 1500 Rebel and then the 2020 Ram 1500 Bighorn with the off-road package. And the biggest question I'm going to be answering at the end of this review is it worth it to spend the extra money on the Rebel? As always, a big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the trucks. If you're in the market for a new truck, check out their inventory in the link below. We're gonna do a walk around on both trucks, and like I said, we're gonna sum it up and see what the better option to go for is. Now let's start under the hood and let's go to the Rebel first and foremost. So under the hood here we have a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter V8 Hemi that's all routed through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. The Bighorn has the exact same setup. The only difference between these two trucks, this truck has e-torque, you can tell because of the little box right there, whereas this truck does not have e-torque. So the e-torque system on the Rebel, that's going to give you 130 pound-feet of torque off of the line, and then also increases fuel economy by about 1 mile per gallon combined. Both of these trucks have the same engine options currently, so 3.6 liter V6 with the e-torque system, 5.7 Hemi, and then the 5.7 Hemi e-torque, and then soon to come eco diesel option. The Bighorn has all of these same options, so everything under the hood so far is identical to the two trucks. Now let's go over things up front and let's head over to the Rebel first and foremost. So up front on the top here we have the sport hood. So you've got all these little vents and everything. It says 1500 5.7 liter Hemi badging right there, and then just down below you can see the lighting. So we have these LED reflector lights in the front of the Rebel. You've got LED accent lights and they're kind of blacked out to go for that sporty look. You can see the Rebel's custom front grille, and then you've got the bumper up the front. This also kind of like doubles as a skid plate, tow hooks as well, and then parking sensors, fog lights. All of the lights on the Rebel, by the way, are all LEDs. Now coming over to the Bighorn, notice that the hood on this regular hood, this is a sport package Bighorn with the off-road group. Down below, the headlights are halogens. You can get an LED lighting group on the Bighorn, so you can get the same lights that the Rebels have, but on the Bighorns. You can see the whole front grille. Bumper just down below, no like crazy skid plate action going on here with how the bumper looks, but parking sensor still, fog lights, and then you can see that this one has tow hooks since it has the off-road package. So other than mostly aesthetic stuff, they're pretty much the same, and you can at least option on the Bighorn to be the same as a Rebel. You just don't get that front grille that the Rebel has. To the side here, you can notice this tire and rim setup's gonna be pretty similar. So over here, 18-inch rims with the Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires, so really good aggressive tires. You can see how knobby these tires are, great for the off-road. Over here we also have 18-inch rims. This one has the Goodyear Wrangler tires. They are 33s, 275 millimeter on those, so the tire setup is almost identical. These tires you can see are a little bit more aggressive than the Wild Peak, but I mean it's not really a huge difference. And then while we are on the side, note that this has fender flares. The Bighorn does not have those little fender flares, and then you can get optional side steps. This one has the optional side steps that you can see that run down the length of the truck. But other than that, things on the side are pretty similar, including the mirrors. Here's our key fob for the Rebel. So you got a couple functions, your lock and unlock and remote start. We do the remote start function. So first touch locks it, second time starts it up. You can hear that 5.7 liter Hemi come to life. Press it again and that will shut it off. And let's go over some things in the back. This has a couple bits of optional equipment that you can also get on the Bighorn: multifunction tailgate and ram boxes. But if we lower the bed, it is slow lowering. This particular Rebel has bed liner in it. You can see LED bed lights as well, and then you've got the little tie downs with the sliders in the back. And then if we pick up the bed, all the trucks with the multifunction tailgate, the bed's a little bit heavier, but you can see how this functions just like a little door. I feel like I've opened one of these up like a million times even though I don't own one. But you can see it makes getting in and out a lot easier. And then you've got all your like plugins for towing right here. Receiver hitch is just down below. But we can shut the bed just like that. On the Rebel, exhaust tips are going to be blacked out, so you can see that beautiful black finish on them. Parking sensors in the rear bumpers, and then you've got kind of like this matte black bumper. Rebel badging, Ram badging, 4x4, and then the tail lights are going to be kind of blacked out in this middle part with full LEDs on the tail lights essentially. But let's head over to the Bighorn now. Here's our key fob for the Bighorn. Notice that it's identical to the one on the Rebel, so lock and unlock and remote start. Press that, and then first time we'll lock it, second time we'll start it up. And you'll hear the same 5.7 liter Hemi come to life. Press that again and that'll shut that function off. And we can get around to the bed. Like I said, you can still get the Ram boxes and multifunction tailgate with the Bighorn as well. Slow lowering bed. This one has a bed liner. This one happens to be a 6'4" bed, but you can get a 5'7" bed just like what the Rebel comes standard with. LED bed lights, still get the sliders with the cargo tie downs, and then we can pick up this bed. It is going to be a whole lot lighter since it's not that multifunction tailgate setup. Ram logo, Bighorn, 4x4, and then you can see that you got same plugins for towing, receiver hitch. Exhaust tips are kind of finished in chrome on the Bighorn here, and then you can see that we've got full incandescent tail lights out back. However, you can get LED lights just like on the Rebel with the Bighorn. I've got a couple things on the sides of both these trucks I want to go over before we go into the back areas. So this one has the Ram boxes. They lock and unlock with the truck, and you can see opening these up, tons of storage space. You do get a full power outlet in these Ram boxes. But like I said, you can get Ram boxes in both the Rebel and the Bighorn. You notice that this has the 4x4 off-road badging because it is that off-road package. And then in the back, there is the kickstep back here in this Bighorn, so you can see that makes getting in and out of the bed a whole lot easier. But let's head into the back seats of both of these. Now in the back of the Rebel here, you can see we have this nice leather padding with the black trim. You've got leather on the door with contrasted stitching. Window control right here, one of the speakers for the sound system. And then let's kind of go top down essentially. These rubber floor mats always like to be in my way. But anyways, you've got some cup holders just in this little area on the Rebel. And then this is the Rebel 12, so full leather seats. The Rebel comes standard with the vinyl seats with the cloth inserts. And then you can see that we've got some extra storage under the seat here, ice buckets as well on both sides. And then you have a full power outlet here with some vents, USBs as well. So nice little setup, cup holders for the rear, and then more of that black trim. And then you can see the backs of the seats with a little extra storage. Now in the Bighorn, you can see the door panel looks a little bit different. So black trim, it's kind of not as gloss finished. Cloth insert right here. You've got leather with the stitching on the Bighorn, one of the speakers for the sound system. And then you can see this one's gonna have the cloth seat since it's the Bighorn, so premium cloth, pretty soft to the touch, has some contrasted stitching. And then you can pull this one up just like in the Rebel. And I did forget to mention, both of these come with rubber floor mats if you get an off-road package. Usually they'll spec them out with that. And then you can see that you've got ice buckets down here, same charging stations, vents, all that kind of stuff, USBs, cup holders up top with more of that black trim, and then backs of the seats, same storage. Now you can see you've got keyless entry, so one touch to lock it, and then to unlock it, just put your hand on the back of the door handle. Notice that this has the power folding mirror, so you've got like a little blind spot mirror in it, and then these mirrors will power fold in. But opening this door panel up, you can see door panel in the front looks identical to the rear. Stitching, leather, more leather here with the black trim. All of your window controls right here, the button to power fold in or out the mirrors. Your mirror adjustments right next to it, so you can see that power folded in. And then you've got a couple cup holders right here. And then the seats in the front here. So you can see it says Rebel, full leather, perforated, nice stitching on it, fully power adjustable with lumbar support. There is the pedal layout just down below with the hood release just above that. And then we can see that got power adjustable pedals, your parking brake, your light controls. So I just leave in automatic mode. Your fog lights, cargo lights, these are for the screens. And then the steering wheel on the Rebel is going to be manually adjustable. In the Bighorn here, we can see that we've got the cloth insert, black trim, leather, just like in the back with the stitching. All of your window controls, same mirrors that are power folding with the little convex mirror in them. And then we see the seats, again, power adjustable. You can see that you've got all your lumbar, again, the premium cloth. You can see that it's nice and soft to the touch, more stitching on it. And then we can see the pedal layout just down below right there. And then you've got the hood release, parking brake, power adjustable pedals, and then you've got your light controls, again, leave in automatic mode, fog lights, cargo light, and then steering wheel again is still manually adjustable. Now that we are in the Rebel, we'll start it up, just put our foot on the brake and push the push start. Gauges will do a little bit of a sweep, and it says Rebel when it starts up. Now we can see we've got the cruise control right here. This is to manually shift the gears, Ram logo in the center, leather wrapped steering wheel with contrasted stitching, and then you can see on this other side you got this little control pad for the center screen voice commands. There are rocker panels on the back of the steering wheel to control the radio stations, and then you've got your turn signal / windshield wiper stock right over there. Now in this center area you can see on the left hand side we've got the RPMs, on the right hand side we've got the speed, and then you can scroll through all these little screens right here that give you different bits of information on the truck. But this is just like all of the other new Rams, and you get the upgraded bigger screen in the center. 12-volt charging just up above. This one is a Rebel 12, so it's got the 12-inch display. So flanking both sides, you've got the analog climate controls. Just down below, you've got analog radio controls. And at the very bottom of this touchscreen, you've got your controls for the parking sensors, tow haul mode, stability control, and then your trailer brakes as well. And then let's get into the touchscreen now. So this is the 12-inch display, so it has some functions with a split screen function on it, essentially. So like you can pull up the controls tab whenever you want. You can see that the navigation is the whole screen, and it's absolutely massive. You can drag and drop whatever you want into that little sidebar. And then you can see this comes with the backup camera system, so you can zoom down onto the receiver heated seats, receiver hitch, geez. Heated seats, heated steering wheel. You've got the mirror dimmer right there as well. And then it is a dual zone climate, like I said before. Right here we've got our shifter for the 8-speed automatic, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel low, 4-wheel high, true neutral, auto stop start since it has the e-torque, and then axle lock, hill descent control. And then over in this area you've got some auxiliary ports for more charging. This is the whole center console setup, so you can see you've got the Ram logo on the top. And then in here you can see there's more storage. You've got a little USB, and then you can pull it up again. Got the little measuring tables on the back, and then the center console has a ton of storage. This slides back and forth, and then you get a full power outlet just down below, and then you can kind of put your phone in this area to hold it. Now you can see that glove box is open, but you've got the dual glove box set up in the Rebel, and then you can see that it says Rebel on the top of the glove box. You got nice contrasted stitching above, and kind of got leather padding all around. And that's kind of one of the bigger differences between this and the Bighorn is just kind of some of the leather that they use. The Bighorn still uses a lot of leather in the interior, but this just has a little bit more. We've got all of our controls up front, so this is for the power rear siding window. You've got your light controls, universal garage door opener. You can get an optional panoramic sunroof in the Rebel as well. Now that we are finished going over this fully blacked out Rebel interior, let's head over to the Bighorn. Now that we're in the Bighorn, same thing, push button start. It says Bighorn, and then gauges will do a sweep, and everything will come to life. Now here's our steering wheel in the Bighorn, so you can see that you've got your cruise control right here. Gear selector just down below to manually shift the gears yourself, Ram logo in the center. And then you've got your voice commands, and then that is for the center screen. You still have radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, and then you still get that turn signal / windshield wiper stock, fully wrapped in leather with some stitching in the center. In here you can see that you've got the RPMs on the left hand side, and then you've got the speed over on the right hand side, and then you've got the little center screen where you can scroll through a bunch of different menus right here. So you can see that there's all the same menus as we just saw in the Rebel, so this center screen display is identical. You got a little charging station up top, and then this one has the 8.4-inch screen. However, you can get the optional 12-inch screen in the Bighorn. You can see it has all the same functionalities as a 12-inch screen pretty much, just doesn't have that split screen function, but really responsive, still has the drag and drop. And then you can see here, Bighorn still has heated seats and a heated steering wheel, mirror dimmer. And then you can see that backup camera, and you still get the little zoom function just like on the Rebel. This does come with the dual zone climate, so far we're pretty much the same. Analog radio controls. You've got your analog controls with the heated seats, heated steering wheel, analog climate controls, parking sensors, your tow haul mode, stability control, trailer brakes right here. And then you can see right here we've got a couple charging stations. And then let's go over the shifter area. So 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel auto, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low, true neutral. So you don't get the 4-wheel auto in the Rebel, but you do get it in the Bighorn. Hill descent control and axle lock, so that's all the same too. Kind of awkward. But anyways, let's go over to the center console, so you can see that you just don't have the Ram logo on the top of it, but this whole part looks the same as in the Rebel. Same table on the back. This slides back and forth just like in the Rebel. Same amount of storage space. Still get the little power outlet just down below. And On the glove boxes, you can see that it still has the dual glove boxes. It says Bighorn on the top. It doesn't have like the stitching on the dash or anything like that, and it's a little bit harder to touch plastic compared to the leather on the Rebel. Now up top here, you still have that power rear sliding window, and believe it or not, you can get a panoramic sunroof with a Bighorn. It's just that a lot of places won't order that out. And then you've got universal garage door openers. Now that we've gone over the interior on the Bighorn, let's wrap things up for the video. Now, I know that you're all wondering on pricing. So the Rebel here, stickers for about just over $63,000. This Bighorn equipped how it is, stickers for almost $53,000. So there's about a $10,000 price difference between the two trucks. Now, my overall thoughts on that price difference is I definitely think that the Bighorn is a better value. So yes, the Bighorn definitely has pretty much the same equipment as the Rebel, and you can even spec it out to have pretty much all the same equipment. Really what you're paying for with this Rebel is the aesthetics, the names. Yes, those tires are a little bit nicer than the tires on the Bighorn, but the biggest thing is just you're paying a lot for appearance. Versus the Bighorn, you get a lot of the same functionality, but you're not paying nearly as much for it. So the Bighorn in this particular one, I feel like it wins out because, I mean, even from a suspension standpoint, once you get the off-road package with this, everything, I mean, you can see they stand the same, all that. The off-road capability is pretty much identical between the two trucks. The Rebel comes out a little bit ahead if you get the air suspension, but you can get air suspension on a Rebel. So, or on a Bighorn, I mean, sorry. You can get air suspension on a Bighorn. So on this one, I'm gonna give it to the Bighorn for winning this comparison. But yeah, that's why. And there we have it, everyone. The 2020 Ram 1500 Bighorn off-road package versus the 2020 Ram 1500 Rebel. I really appreciate all of you for watching. And again, a big shout out and thank you to Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram Jeep Chrysler here in Sandy, Utah for providing us with the trucks. If you're in the market for a new truck, check out their inventory in the link below. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. I will see all of you in that next video.